Good morning, welcome to Furry and Spoilt. Today I'm going to talk to you about my beep beep technique. Now, people have laughed at me often about this technique that I've come up with, but I use it all the time and it's really handy. So I'll tell you about it. So I invented this technique because there were so many times when I need a dog to move, and having 3 dogs, and in the past I've had German Shepherds, so very big dogs, and I've just needed the dog to move without me touching them, without me, if I've got stuff in my hands or I'm cooking, carrying stuff, I just need them to move. This works. I've been doing this forever, as I don't know, 20 years or whatever, and it works so well. I use it all the time. I use it the most when I'm cooking. I've got 3 dogs at the moment. There was always a dog in my way, and I just say beep beep and they move. So I'm going to show you now Harry doing it. So this is Harry, and then I'm going to show you Albert doing it. Beep beep, beep beep. Thank you, darling. Albert, beep beep, beep beep. Thank you, darling. Good boy. Thank you. Right, so you saw them doing it there, and you saw it was quick. I said beep beep, it was quick, and they moved out the way. And it's so handy just to get them to be able to move like that. Right, and then we've got Humps here, who I will show you doing it in a minute. Now, so these are things to consider when you're teaching a dog it, how to do it. Humps, if you know my channel, you know all about him, but if you don't, he came from South Korea. We've had him for 7 months, and he was used as a breeding dog for the dog meat industry. So he spent his whole life, years and years, we don't know how old he is, so 6, 7, who knows how many years, in a cage, in a dark room. And as a result, he has awful fears and worries and stuff like that. And one of the things that he has, and I had to really put this into consideration, is he has a big fear. Not now, he's doing really well, but he had, when he first came, he had a really big fear of any, if a lorry or truck or even car sometimes reverse, they make the beep beep noise. Well, he had a massive fear of cars and lorries and trucks. He would just completely freeze. He wouldn't even freak out. He'd just freeze, completely freeze. He couldn't move forward, backwards, just completely freeze. And so now, after 7 months, we're at the point where he will look at them and he'll, carry on trotting along. He's done incredibly well. We couldn't walk him near roads. We couldn't. It was really bad for him. We had to find walks that were in the middle of the countryside. If you can hear Harry in the background, it is because I'm going to name and shame you, Harry. I will find you. It's because I've just fed the tortoise and he wants to get the tortoise food. Honestly, if I put cabbage and stuff in their dinner, they would be like, what? If I gave it to them just raw. But they always want to get the tortoise food out. Anyway. Yeah, so we had to walk him like in the middle of the countryside, and that make sure there were no cars. If he heard cars in the distance, Harry, you're not having the tortoise food. If he heard cars in the distance, he would just freeze. He couldn't move. It would completely just freeze. It was really bad with cars and stuff. And so as a result, I thought if I put the beep beep technique in, that does sound like it a bit like trucks and stuff reversing. So I didn't do it for a long time, and so I've only just recently started putting it in. And I've started it because he's nervous with that, because that situation is an issue for him. I started, you'll see in the video in a minute, I started by going in really deep. So I'm not doing the high pitch beep beeps. I go in really deep, and you'll see I have to repeat it, I think 3 or 4 times before he moves, but that's absolutely fine. So in the beginning, when you're working with a dog, if you're working with a dog that doesn't have issues with stuff like that, then you could, to be honest, the higher pitched you go, the more excited you go, the better the result you'll get from the dog. But because I'm dealing with... Can you hear? Harry, you're not having the tortoise cabbage. Leave it for Rosie. It's not for you. But because he had those issues, I've gone in deep with the beep beep. So if you've got a dog that's nervous and you think that level of excitement might worry them, then go in deeper with your beep beeps. Get them used to that, and then go a bit higher pitch. And what you'll see when I show you this video in a minute is When I went in deep with the Beep Beep, he didn't actually react too well. He didn't actually move. But when I went in higher, he did move. So they always react to the higher pitch of it. But I just wanted to go in deeper just to get him used to it. The other thing with humps is where Beep Beep is just invaluable, is that when he came to us, because he'd been cramped up in his cage his whole life, his back legs were just really, really thin and absolutely riddled with arthritis, and they used to shake. They were so thin they couldn't hold him up. So he used to shake really bad. His back legs used to shake really bad, and he used to lift one of them all the time, and he had to piddle like a girl and all this sort of stuff. He couldn't scratch himself if his ears were scratchy. He couldn't do that. He couldn't clean around that area. It was all just completely crippled up, and he just couldn't. It was just awful. He could hardly walk. I mean, the legs were shaking under the strain of when you're lifting weights and your arms just start shaking because you just can't take the weight anymore. That's what his legs were doing, and it was really, really bad. And anyway, we sorted that all out. No more pain. Really muscly legs, gorgeous. Look at how thick and muscly they are now. Thick, muscly legs. He can run fast. I don't always let him, but he can. He's caught me out a few times with that, and really, really trots along, really healthy, really fit, really well. If you want to know about my story about how I got over his arthritis, I found out some truly fascinating facts when I was can you hear Harry? What, you're on YouTube and everybody can see that you're trying to get the cabbage out of the tortoise? Everyone can see. Harry, do you not care that we're publicly shaming you on YouTube? Come here. Yeah, that's it. You be a good boy. That's it. That's a good boy. Yeah. Sorry, if you want to know about how I got over arthritis, my dog over arthritis, go to playlist, go to arthritis. I found out some truly fascinating facts about arthritis, and it hasn't been that hard to sort him out. And when he had x-rays, you could see that one particular leg was absolutely riddled with it. And anyway, go to that video. It was a set of videos I did, and honestly, I found out some really fascinating things. And he is so much better, I can't even tell you. But my point being, because his memory is that his back legs hurt so much, it means that if anybody, when he was brought over to here, anybody that went to touch him, any part of him, his neck, anything, he would just bite. Since I've had him, he has bitten a few people. He's bitten a vet. I tried him once with a dog groomer. He bit the dog groomer. He's bit my husband. Luckily, he's never, ever bitten me, and I'm really, really thankful for that trust we have there. But you stop moaning about having cabbage. Why do you want raw cabbage? If I put raw cabbage in your dinner, you wouldn't be happy, would you? You have to have it all cooked. I don't know why you want to eat it. So where Beep Beep comes in really, really handy with humps is that I can't, like my other two dogs, so Harry here, I can pick him up from any situation. Docile as anything, pick him up from any situation. So if he was in a situation I wanted him to move, I could just pick him up. But with humps, that's not an option. Picking him up isn't an option. Now, I have picked him up a few times. I've had to for different situations. But on the whole, you just can't go to pick him up. So with those back legs, he has a memory that if someone touches my back legs, it really hurts and I must bite them. So with me, what I'm doing is, so at the moment, he will let me brush all of his body about the top, about 2/3 from his head down, I can brush. And so what I'm doing is every day I'm just going down a little bit further, a little bit further, a little bit further. I've been doing that for 7 months. I've got to the point now where I can brush the back legs with the brush and he won't bite or even suggesting bite or anything. He's never bit me, thank goodness. But I can brush the back legs now. So we're really making progress. The other thing I've got to work on is you see the fur coming out there in between his toes, in between his pads. I've got to be able to get to that with scissors, which there is no way. He won't let me go near that yet. But what he is letting me do is he's letting me cut the fur on his front paws. So bit by bit, every day he sniffs the scissors and we have a little play and then he sniffs the scissors some more. If he lets me cut off some hair, then he gets a treat. And, you know, so bit by bit we're getting there. But Beep Beep is going to be, is invaluable with him because I can't physically move him like I can my other dogs. So it's really, really handy for that. And so even though I've only just started beep beep with him, we will get to the point very soon where I can drop the deeper tone of it and just go straight in with the high pitched tone of it. Beep beep. Beep beep. Beep beep. Good boy. Well done, Humps. Thank you. So you saw Humps there doing it. Bless his heart. He did it. But you saw, as I said, it was slower. I went in deeper. Didn't do it so high pitched. And he did it. And, you know, bless his heart. And that's going to help me so much with moving him. He's just destroying his toy here. He makes a goodness, does it? He loves to destroy toys. I'm sure somewhere in his life he has had to catch rodents and stuff to eat. They must have come into the cage because he wasn't allowed out of this cage his whole life. So they must have come into his cage because I watch him. He tears a toy apart differently than I've ever seen any dog do it before. It really does look like he's done it before on something. But he loves his toys. So that is how I use the beep beep technique. As always, if you've got any questions, ask me about them. And yeah, use it. It's really, really handy. I use it all the time. It's very handy indeed. So thank you very much for watching. As always, I hope you and your dogs all have a great day. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.